Hello, welcome back to my channel. I have two guests here, the loves of my life, my men. We got Baby G, we got Adam. And so before we get started with the Q&A, I just wanted to give y'all a little update about things that have been going on. So Adam, how have you felt so far in the last month? Our baby is a month and 2 days old now.
Any updates? I do have some observations I've made over the last 30 days now. And it's been a wild ride. There's just crazy emotions that flow.
And Baby G is doing good. As you guys know from my last video, I was kind of struggling with breastfeeding and just being a new mom in general, but he's gotten on a schedule, things are getting better, and I have had a lot of help from his mom. She's been a blessing, and then my mom is here, and she's gonna take Baby G and give him his bottle. Yes. So let's get started on the Q&A. Okay, the baby is with his grandmother, so now we can dive in. A couple of tips for dads. We're expecting baby number 1 in the next 4 weeks, and I'm nervous for delivery.
Tips for dads is, Raven got me this book. It's by Armin Brott and Jennifer Ash Ruddick. I highly, highly recommend it. It's The Expectant Father, and it's the ultimate guide for dads to be. Raven got this for me, I think when you were maybe...
A few months pregnant.
So I was gonna say like 6 months pregnant.
Yeah.
But I started reading it after the baby was born, and it has these tabs in the book by month that the baby's born, and at the last chapter is just baby, when the baby's here. A lot of really good, useful information here. It's an easy read, it's quick to understand, and everything from hormone balances to what you can expect to just the type of help you may need. Like, it's really good. And a lot of people give you tips and advice, but this is from an author who has created, I think, 6 other books along the way that has newborn, toddler, like even 0 to teen, range. And it's really, really easy, but highly recommend it.
There was one, I think what sold him on the book too is I had told Adam after I had so much trouble breastfeeding that I consulted a few different people who were telling me it was completely okay to give up because I was having such a hard time, and I was just trying to push through that feeling. And I texted Adam and I said, I just feel like a failure. And he was reading the book about how mothers, if it's hard not to breastfeed, that they feel like failures. So it was really personal and kind of hit the nail on the head with a lot of things that I was saying, and in that direction.
It correlates perfect. One of my biggest takeaways so far has really just been, I think, the amount of respect I have for people that have kids, especially if you don't have any help. More importantly, single moms, I have the absolute most respect for you. I don't know how you do it, especially with no help.
There have been many times where Adam and I would look at each other and be like, how do single moms do this?
I have no idea. It's unbelievable. One question here, it says, how did you come up with the little man's name?
You go for it.
So Raven and I would say maybe 8 months before baby was due. So right when we found out we were pregnant, we were having dinner one night, and we're trying to figure out what names would work well.
We were trying to take into consideration the names our families gave us.
Yes, that too. I have a long, complicated last name. And then we were trying
there was one name that I loved that's actually getting pretty popular. I'm not gonna say the name because I don't want to offend anybody, but Adam, I love the name, and Adam said it gave him shivers down his spine.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan. I wasn't gonna do that. We were talking about names, and I don't know what it was. Something made me spark, and I was like, what about Gates? It's like, it pays tribute to your last name, but it also has good meaning. Yeah, it flows well, and it's strong. Gates Gottschalk flows really well off the tongue. And I just thought, I was like, I'm kind of sold on it. It's single syllable. It was easy. And then the hardest part was really the middle name. But
yeah, Adam has had our little girl's name picked out from probably like way before we were even thinking about getting pregnant.
Well, that was when we were figuring out, okay, if it's a boy or if it's a girl, like way before.
Your mind was set.
Yep. Has having a baby affected y'all's relationship so far?
Well, I don't, it's kind of hard to say because we're just a month in, right? But I think our roles with each other have definitely changed. And I don't know, what do you think?
How it's affected? I would say it's more, this is where your communication with your significant other needs to be very, very strong. Postpartum emotions and hormones could be very different than what they think it's going to be. I think a lot of it is communication.
I think our relationship roles have changed because of course, Adam's going to work and I'm staying at home with the baby. So I think he's picked up, you know, cleaning the bottle, being the housekeeper more or less, the things that your mom doesn't do. Yes. And then for me, it's just kind of really focusing on the baby, whereas maybe I would have been more focused on Adam and our relationship and going on dates and stuff like that. But that has definitely changed for now while he is small. And then, yeah, I don't know. We're just a month in, so it could, you know, we may have other struggles when they get here, but right now we've been pretty good. Just
give and take, get into a routine, and you'll find out that mom will want to do this, dad does this, and just break it out. But, you know, make it, try to make the other person's life a little bit easier. And you need to help someone out. It's really, really important that maybe, you know, if the dad's more of the night owl, stay up later, prep all the bottles, have everything done in advance, so that way that when mom switches at, you know, the early...
It makes it easier on me.
Totally.
Yeah. Everything Adam has done has really made it easier on me. So yeah, that's how I feel right now.
What did you end up not needing in your hospital bag, and what do you wish you had?
I was just talking to my friend who lives across the street who's about to give birth. I ended up using everything in my bag. A lot of people were saying that, well, a lot of people agreed with what I had in the bag, for like 90% of people. And then there was 10% that was like, you're packing way too much. But I'm really glad I packed what I did because I used everything in that bag. Granted, I was in the hospital for 5 days total with labor included. So I used everything except I did not use the breast friend pillow. And the reason is because I had a C-section. It was very hard for me to bend over to breastfeed. I had to kind of do different holds with him to get him to latch and just the recovery in it. So that was the only thing I didn't use. Had I not had the C-section, maybe I wouldn't have used everything because I wouldn't have been there as long. But yeah, that was it. What about your bag?
My bag, I want to, well.
Did you use everything in your bag?
No, I didn't use everything. What did you not use? I want to say it was the slippers. And there was
didn't use the slippers.
I will say, the mattress memory foam topper. If you just said that's all you need in your bag, I would have been happy with it. That was the best thing to buy because the beds are very uncomfortable. In this memory foam,
it's a couch, right?
It's a couch that converts to a bed, but these memory foam toppers, you can literally sleep on them on the floor and they'll be fine.
Cushion.
How's your breastfeeding journey going? Literally one of the hardest things I've done.
I totally agree with that. I had such a hard time, as I kind of touched on last episode on my YouTube. I had such a hard time for different reasons, but I'm still going. I'm still having to supplement a little bit, but mostly he may get like 2 formula bottles, and the rest has been my breast milk. So it's been like she said, the hardest thing I've ever done, but I'm doing good right now. And I'm still struggling, obviously, because I'm not producing as much as what he's taking, but so far I'm much better than where I was.
Yeah, you are pumping like a cow. I said, did Adam cut the umbilical cord for the baby?
This is interesting because I don't know the answer.
Actually, no, I didn't, because the baby came C-section.
And I was out of it pretty much. I was in and out.
I wanted to watch the baby come out, but apparently they don't allow you because they say a lot of dads will say, yeah, I can take it, and then they get lightheaded and they'll pass out, and then now the anesthesiologist has to take care of 2 people. But they pulled the baby. As they were pulling the baby out, his umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck 3 times. So they took that off quickly, and then they just cut it. I mean, it's like this like perfect, like synchronized dance of doctors and support staff.
One of the reasons too they didn't let you cut it is because his cord was wrapped around his neck, for one, and then 2, he had a lot of meconium, and so the NICU was actually in there with us, but they didn't. He didn't have to go to the NICU, but they were just trying to get him out, get him cleaned up, and move forward.
Yep.
This is a good follow-up question to that.
This one said, who cried more when Gates was born? Well, I was emotional once he came out, and I immediately was texting Raven's mom, and I was like, he's here, because we've been up for over 36 hours just waiting to see him and everyone to get updates. Raven was drugged on whatever they gave her in her spinal, and Raven could barely hold her eyes open, but
I was trying.
Yeah, she was, but the emotions still were flowing with you postpartum. So
yeah.
What surprised you most about the childbirth and labor postpartum experience?
The whole breastfeeding thing surprised me, because like I said in my last video, I knew how hard being a new mom would be. I knew how hard it would be having a newborn. I knew how hard labor could be. Like I had something in my repertoire that, you know, I could base it being bad on, but I did not have a clue how bad I would struggle with breastfeeding. So that was one thing that surprised me. The second thing that surprised me was really seeing his little face got me out of bad mindsets, like that I couldn't do it anymore, or that I couldn't breastfeed anymore. I would look at him and be like, okay, I can do 15 more minutes, you know, or I can suck through the pain, or whatever it may be. It was just by looking at the baby. So those kind of instincts are really real. Oh, also, I think this is yours too, probably about me, is how emotional I've become.
Yeah, her OB did say, she goes, Adam, you know, I'm the only one who can say the word hormonal, but you're not allowed to say it after today. And she said, Raven will just be watching a cartoon and it will be something completely random. She'll just start crying. You just got to let her do it.
And you've been really good about it. You've actually enjoyed me crying over commercials.
Yes, totally.
Because I wasn't really that emotional before the baby. This one says, did Adam get paternity leave? How long for? No, he didn't.
No, didn't get paternity leave. When you work in sales, you're not, well, it depends on what sales, but no, I am not a salary position.
I guess he could have technically not went to work, but that would have not really been beneficial to your work.
Someone asked what's the hardest part about being a new dad, and it's really, I think, learning a new role that you never knew before. It's also probably splitting time with the kid, because the hardest part is, you know, you're gone for the whole day and mom's usually at home taking care of the baby, and then you come home and it's a totally new feeling. You need to just keep that bonding alive and active as much as you can. It's super, super important to do that.
And it has been at times where Adam has worked such long days and I've been with the baby all day that when he comes, he may feel like going straight to bed, but he'll come and get the baby because he knows how important that is for him and the baby, and also to give me just a break for a little bit. So yeah, you've been good about that.
Someone said, no question, but we need a pic with baby and Boaz. So
okay, hold on a second.
This can be a very personal question, but any postpartum depression or anxiety?
I kind of touched on this in my last video. Yeah, I had kind of like what my best friend calls the baby blues for a little bit, because I was just trying to heal physically and then also trying to breastfeed, which was even harder than me trying to heal physically. And so it also was, there was an ice storm here in Texas, and I think I saw the sun one time in 17 days, and that was not good for my mental health. But once I got outside and I did the things I needed to do to reset my mind and reset my body, and also just having the help from our parents was really what I needed to get myself out of that headspace. And now I think I'm finally over that hump. Things are getting easier. He's getting on a schedule. Breastfeeding has become easier, even though I'm still kind of struggling with it, but things did get better.
Or tip or question that maybe someone would ask would be, you know, what can a dad do to help mom more? I would say it's, if you can just stay at home and you have some bottles that are maybe pre-made, and let mom get out, maybe get her nails done and just like get fresh air, because when you're under the same roof for
Weeks at a time.
Weeks at a time, it really does wreak havoc on you.
There was one day that my mom kept the baby and me and Adam just went outside and sat outside in the sunshine when it was really nice outside. And that was like, I had a like serotonin drip coming off my arm. And like, it was just so good for me. And that little bit of sunshine lasted a long time.
That bought you 4 days. So
yeah, that bought me 4 days. What does Adam do every morning to Gates?
When I wake up at about 6:30 or 6:15, depending on the day, I will go over to little Gates, and if he's making some noise, I'll kind of rub his belly, or I'll just let him know that I'm there. Say hi to him, and I look at him right before I leave for the day, and I know mommy has the rest under control.
When Adam gets up, he'll get dressed, get ready for work, go get the baby, and then I will try to get one last pump session in because I can't really hold him with my pump on, and he will buy me at least 15 minutes to get my milk out, and so that I can give him a bottle as soon as he wakes up.
True.
Seriously though, where did all that hair come from? Adam and I both had a head full of hair when we were newborns.
That was your heartburn. That's what's that myth? It's a
old wives' tale.
Wives' tale of the worse your heartburn is, apparently the more hair your baby's gonna have on its head. I don't know if it's true or not, but we never saw it really. You couldn't see it in the 4D scans or the 3D scans that we got.
Not really. But I was pretty positive he was gonna have a lot of hair because Adam had a lot of hair, but it was very light. And then I had a lot of hair and it was very dark. My biggest surprise was that he had light hair.
Yeah.
That was my biggest surprise because I thought he was gonna have black hair like I did when I was a newborn. But
nope, he looks like daddy.
Jeans have
he looks like daddy.
I've overridden mine. Well, someone said, did you do your makeup after giving birth or did you go into birth looking like that? And I think I know what picture she's referencing. I'll post it up here. This was like 4 days after I've given birth. Yeah. When I had a lot of help of people holding him and I had some time to gain my senses back. This was definitely not, you will never, the pictures that Adam took of me will never see the light of day. Yeah. Because they're bad. But no, I did not look like that. And I did try to do my makeup, but it quickly all changed. So I did not look like that. Do you have the C-section pooch? Struggling with mine? Yes, of course, I do. Yes, I have it. It doesn't really bother me though because I never really worried about what my body was going to look like postpartum. Of course, you want to try to get back to where you were if you gain a lot of weight. I gained 40 pounds when I was pregnant with him. So, of course, you want to get back, but I really, losing weight and getting my pooch down or whatever it may be, and like, I have lines on my belly from having him. That really never bothered me at all. Just because I'm like, this is what it's about. It's like, you're not supposed to look perfect, so.
I still think it's cute.
Someone asked how our intimacy has been since the baby. I'm not out of my 6 weeks yet, so.
Yeah, check back in.
We haven't explored that one yet, but maybe that's another YouTube video. I'll answer this one. It's about you though. It's how's Adam doing now that he's a dad? He's doing really good. He's been very helpful to me. I really thought when Adam and I had the baby that he would not be as helpful. And I thought that he would have like an attitude, but he really hasn't. I can see it in his eyes when I'm like asking him to do something or I'm like, do this, like urgently, that he has this look in his eyes like, I want to be mad. I want to like not do this, but take a deep breath and I'm going to do it and be helpful. I've like seen those emotions play. Yeah.
Well.
And he's done very, very good. He's been a very big help to me. Oh, the last thing that I will use, our last question I'll just touch on really quick is how long did it take us to get pregnant and if we had any help. And the thing is, we actually, I know I'm gonna get hate for this. We actually tried to get pregnant before we got married a few months. So it actually took us like 4 or 5 months before.
Probably.
And so it was not wham bam, thank you ma'am, and like it took a while. However, I can't give any advice on fertility if you're struggling with that, but I did buy these strips from Amazon to start tracking my ovulation, because you would think, you know, I just always thought it would be so easy. You always hear it's so easy to get pregnant when you're young, and then when you're actually ready, it takes so much time, and you really we had to be methodical about, okay, when am I ovulating? When is it a good time? Is it low ovulation? Is it high? So I'm gonna link this for you down below for you just to try, and of course, consult your doctor. I'm not trying to tell you that these are definitely gonna get you pregnant, but a lot of my friends have used these. It was recommended to me, and then once I started tracking my ovulation and knowing that I was ovulating, we went from there. And so, yeah. Is there anything else you want to say before we sign off and go get our baby?
Good luck to all you future parents out there.
Oh, one more thing. I just want to mention this. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Boaz has done so well with the baby. So well. When he cries,
Tell people who Boaz is.
Oh, Boaz is our dog. I'll insert a picture. He's like laying next to the baby right now, but he sleeps in his nursery, and anytime he cries, he either whines or howls, or he will bring a toy and like kind of offer his toy, like, what can I do? Yeah. And then if anyone's at the house and they're holding him and they go into the other room to change him, or they step outside or something, he's like following them, like, why do you have my human? Are you doing okay? You know, he's checking in on everything.
Totally.
Okay, sorry. Now you can sign us out.
Just say good luck to all you future first-time parents out there. Always accept help. Take it while you can. Take all little tidbits and advices you get from people, but at the same time, do what works well for you, and you're going to be so good at what you do. And I can't help but look at people now when I'm walking out in public, and I'm like, man, that person used to be the same age as our kid at some point. It's interesting to see, you know, how that progression happens, and it takes, you know, 20, 30 years to get there, and I can't help but think about the future. So good luck to everyone, and we're glad you guys asked us these questions, and hopefully they're helpful.
Bye.
Bye.
See you soon.